What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And ever since Diablo Immortal got announced, there has been a bit of a internet culture war going on. On one side, you have a lot of gamers who are into video games but despise mobile gaming for some reason. And on the other side, you have a lot of culture warriors who are defending Blizzard, defending mobile gaming, who don't seem to really understand why the other group is so upset. So today, I thought I would make a video trying to explain to people why traditional gamers, entrenched gamers, tend to hate mobile games so very, very much. Before we try to break this down, here's an important statistic you should know. The global games market for 2018, if you look at this chart, you'll see that mobile gaming has brought in $70.3 billion so far this year, whereas PC gaming has brought in about $32.9 billion and console gaming has brought in about $34 billion. So mobile gaming so far in 2018 has made twice as much money as PC gaming, or twice as much as console gaming, or as much as both of those combined. And so you can see where a company like Blizzard would absolutely want to get involved with that. And I think when you start to compare and contrast the highest grossing PC games, highest grossing console games versus the highest grossing mobile games, you begin to understand why traditional gamers don't care for that genre so much. I mean, take a look at this list of the best-selling console/PC games from 2018, and this was published back in July. So you're looking at Far Cry 5, God of War 2018, Monster Hunter World, Call of Duty World War II, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Grand Theft Auto 5, NBA 2018, MLB 18 The Show, Mario Kart 8, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. All of these games have plenty of stuff in common. Obviously, they're built for the big screen. They're built for nice 1080p or 4K television. They're built to be played on a console or a PC, so they're made to be played with mouse and keyboard or with a controller. And sure, they do have some level of microtransactions, but all of these games are very, very deep, very detailed, with high-end graphics, the kind of stuff that the average Western gamer, including myself, likes to enjoy. And when we take a look at the top grossing iPhone games, we do have Fortnite on that list, which is kind of cool, but Candy Crush Saga, Pokemon Go, Toon Blast, Clash of Clans, Roblox, Candy Crush Soda Saga, Slotomania, Vegas Casino Slots, Toy Blast, Clash Royale, Homescapes. These games all have something in common too. There's the obvious cosmetic stuff. All of these games are designed for a small screen. A lot of them use touchscreen controls. They tend to be much simpler games rather than deeper story games like you'd find on a PC or a console. But that's not the one I think we all take issue with. A traditional console game or a traditional PC game might start as cheap as $20 or $40. You might spend as much as $60 on the basic edition, and if you want to get the DLC, the season pass, and all of the stuff that's in it, you might expect to spend as much as $100, sometimes as much as $120 total on that game, and that's a lot of money to us. Candy Crush, on the other hand, is billed as a free-to-play game. Except you could spend $14, $19, $20, $40, maybe even $74 in it. You could spend more for just microtransactions in this free-to-play game than you would spend on an entire copy of a game like God of War. Fortnite also has a $10 package for V-Bucks, or $25, or $60, or even $99 if you want to start downloading cosmetics for your free-to-play game. And that tends to be the case for almost every mobile game, specifically the ones that are on that top grossing list. They tend to be very, very simple games designed around high-end microtransactions of $60, $70, $90. You don't get the graphics, you don't get the gameplay, you don't get anything other than a game designed around milking you out of those microtransactions. That's free to start. Eventually you hit a paywall, and either you uninstall the game when you hit that paywall, or you start spending money. And nobody's saying that these games are not fun. Some of these games are very, very fun. Fortnite is a very popular game. I still play Pokemon Go every once in a while as an excuse to get out into the world and do a little bit of walking. But there's still a striking difference between these games and traditional games. I mean, if you grew up on something like this, then you might realize it's a little bit jarring when the world is obsessed with this. But where it becomes really frustrating is when you realize God of War only costs $60, and $60 with the microtransactions and Candy Crush is only going to help you beat like 10 levels. And when it comes to the Diablo franchise, you have to realize it is one of the deepest franchise and longest running franchises to exist. There's 3 different games to choose from, each more deep than the last, but Diablo 2 is still getting played right now to this day. The servers are online, people are still buying copies of that game, and that game is almost 20 years old now. Every game of the Diablo franchise has dozens of different maps, tons of bosses to fight, thousands of items to collect, several different classes to play them with. I mean, they are incredibly deep games that have some repetitious gameplay, but reward you for that repetition. And when it comes to that repetitious gameplay, when it comes to that addicting gameplay that Diablo is known for, that does sound kind of familiar, because it might sound a lot like Fortnite. It might sound a lot like Pokemon Go. It might sound a lot like Candy Crush. Except the Diablo games have always historically only run you $60. And then it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. You could play as much as you want. You could hit that loot pinata as often as you wanted. No microtransaction stores, no exploitive practices, no $99 gem packs that you could buy once a month, or, God forbid, the way some people do it, once a week. A lot of the most successful mobile games took some of the mechanics you find in Diablo, the loot pinatas, the exploration, the repetition, and then monetized them to make literal billions of dollars on a free-to-play game. Diablo has always been ripe for this, and Lord knows they tried to do it with Diablo 3 with the real money auction house, and Lord knows when they bring it to mobile, they're definitely going to do it there. And think about the player who bought Diablo 3 5 years ago for $60 and has been playing that game off and on ever since. Think about the player who paid $60 for Diablo 2 almost 2 decades ago and has been playing that game ever since for that $60. It's an obsession. It is an addiction. It is a game that they love to play, and they've been terrified that Blizzard would monetize it, and you know that they will when they move to mobile. And that's what the outrage is about. Blizzard knows exactly what they are doing. They are taking a game that is designed on addictive gameplay, and they are going to monetize it in a hopes to get certain whales, certain addictive personalities to spend hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars per individual on that addictive gameplay. That's exactly what they're going to do with this game, and that's what everybody's afraid of. That's what everybody's upset of. Blizzard and Activision is willing to literally destroy lives and put people into debt using addictive gameplay rather than just sell it to everybody for $60. You're damn right we're upset. And if you don't believe that people get addicted to these mobile games and these microtransactions and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, then you've not been paying attention. A simple Google search will show you people who's ruined their lives being addicted to these games. But yes, there are plenty of players who are upset about the fact that we're ditching the mouse and keyboard and we're ditching the controller in favor for a crappy touchscreen control setup. And there's plenty of players who are upset about the fact that they're going from their giant 60-inch television or their 30-inch monitor down to their tiny little 8-inch screen. And there's some of us who spend a lot of money on our high-end processors for our computers and graphics cards, we're upset that we're going to go with our tiny little microchip in our phones instead. Yes, that is an accurate complaint, and I think it's a viable one as well. But the mass majority of us who are upset by Diablo Immortal and the mass majority of us who are upset by mobile gaming in general are mostly upset about the fact that mobile gaming is designed to milk the consumer. Oversimplified gameplay, built around gambler's fallacy, built around loot boxes, built about wait time, and built around frustration, all so that you can spend microtransactions. And micro is being very kind there because we're talking $99 bundles to bypass those frustrations to get back into your oversimplified gameplay. Now compare that to Diablo 3, compare that to God of War, compare that to the new Spider-Man game, and you can see the source of frustration. The biggest clampback I have seen here is 2 things. Number 1, this game isn't designed for you, Boogie. And number 2, you don't have to play it. But Blizzard knows that there's plenty of players who are going to play this game, even begrudgingly. Plenty of people in the Asian markets are just going to love this game being on mobile, and they're going to play it deeply and spend millions of dollars doing it. But a lot of Western gamers who've been waiting for 6 years for a new Diablo game. Some people who are disappointed with Diablo 3 have been waiting since Diablo 2 to play a Diablo game. They are going to begrudgingly and frustratingly play this game, even if it is a simplified game scheme, even if it is designed to milk them, because they love the world of Diablo. They love the storyline. They love everything about that world. And instead of selling it to them for $60, maybe with a season pass, maybe with some DLC, maybe with some cosmetics, instead they're selling it to you on mobile, on a platform you don't want to play it on, a place that you don't experience with the controls that you hate. And they're going to monetize the living hell out of it to try to milk you for as much money as possible. Players are going to put up with it, but we're going to be damn mad about it in the meantime. And as for a sense of entitlement, yes, I do feel a little bit entitled because I bought the first Diablo a couple of times. I bought Diablo 2 several times, and I bought every expansion, and I bought Diablo 3, and I bought the collector's edition, and I've invested hundreds of dollars into the Diablo franchise. So I do feel, not just as a gaming commentator, but as a player and a supporter of the franchise, I do have a right to complain about something I don't want, and I do have a right to ask for what I do want. I do feel that. I cannot understand why I wouldn't have that right. You need to explain that to me in the comments section below. And I'll admit, some players may take it too far with the personal insults and the attacks on Twitter and things along that lines. I think that's never welcome. But to make a video like this, to complain about it, to make posts about it on Reddit, to say that it feels like a slap in the face for a franchise that you've supported for 20 years, I think all of that's fine. I think there's absolutely no problem with that. And if you do have a problem with that, maybe you shouldn't be watching my channel. Honestly, if you have a problem with that, then you don't understand basic supply versus demand. You need to take an economy course or business course because you shouldn't need a college course to teach it to you, but it'll help. But as usual, this is one man's opinion. Now, I did ask you guys on Twitter what your opinion was about mobile games in Diablo Immortal, and I used a lot of that for this video, but I will be reading more comments as we go. So leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this video, what you thought about this opinion, whether or not you love mobile gaming, whether you hate mobile gaming, what your problem is with Diablo Immortal, or whether or not you're excited for that game. I'm always interested in opposing opinions and hearing them, especially because then I can make a video about it and tear them down. Just kidding, just kidding. I like opposing points of views. I like to educate myself. I like to learn about the kind of person who spends a few $1,000s each month on Candy Crush. If you're that person, let me know in the comments section below. While you're down there, do me a favor, drop a like on this video. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Hit that notification bell if you want to be one of the first people to see a video when it goes live. And know that if you are one of those people that rush to type in first, you are helping me out quite a bit. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.